Good morning to you. It is 6 a.m. It is Tuesday, and I've been consciously making sure I say Tuesday since I was not here yesterday. It throws me off every time.
Easy to make that mistake, but for all of us who did work yesterday, Grace, it is in fact Tuesday. Good morning to everybody here watching on WHAS11 and on WHAS11 Plus. Of course, Jim and Grace with you this morning. Matthew joining us this morning too.
Welcome.
And it is another hot one out there today, Matthew.
Yeah, I know you hate it. It's okay.
I'll get my iced coffee today instead of hot coffee.
Yes. Oh,
Smart.
yes.
Smart move.
Yeah, maybe no coffee. Yeah. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But yeah, no, if you need the coffee today, definitely a good day to get it, especially if it's the iced coffee, because it's a warm start to the day. Temperatures already for this morning into the upper 60s in most spots, 63 degrees in Paoli and Louisville, 68 degrees, down to Campbellsville, 62 degrees. Overall, though, yeah, we got some warm weather ahead. Also some dry weather as well for us as we head towards this week. And likely by the weekend, finally going to usher in some rain chances, at least some much needed rain chances on the way for us today. That sunrise is going to come in just about an hour and a half overall, 7:26 for sunrise time with sunlight just about 12 hours and 25 minutes. By the end of the month, that sunrise time will be at 7:38. That coffee planner for you, just as Jim said, need the iced coffee maybe for today, because back into this afternoon we'll already be into the mid to upper 80s, and by this evening we'll be into the mid 70s. Overall, the next 12 hours brings us likely into the 80s as we head towards 1 p.m. and likely still sticking at that throughout the entire evening. That warm trend going to continue though as we head towards the next several days, but when we finally see a break from the cooler weather, I'll be timing that out coming up in just a few minutes. But before that, let's take a look at that traffic tracker for the start of this Tuesday morning. Not really seeing any problems out there, just a few stalled vehicles, one being just along I-71 eastbound from I-65. So the shoulder is blocked due to a stalled vehicle on the entry ramp of I-71. Those roadways nice and clear for the start of this morning. We'll send it back over to you, Grace and Jim.
Matthew, thank you. Oh, we start our morning with the latest on a violent few days in our city. This was the scene after Louisville's most recent shooting. Crime scene tape surrounded the intersection at 24th and West Broadway. LMPD says officers were called to the Russell neighborhood just after 8 p.m., finding a man who'd been shot at least twice. He was taken to the hospital and is expected to survive. If you have information, you can call the anonymous tip line at 574-LMPD. And last night's shooting comes on the heels of a weekend where 3 people died and several more were hurt in a series of shootings and stabbings.
We spoke to community activists who are pushing for a safer city as they heard from the finalists that are competing to become the force overseeing the LMPD reform here in Louisville, the Independent Monitor. WHAS11's Alex Dieterer was at the final community input session.
When we are all gone, this will be in your hands. And we want to make sure we engage, educate, and equip the community.
2 teams, Effective Law Enforcement for All and 21 CP, are vying to monitor the Louisville Metro Police Department.
And it really shows me the heart of a community, that you decided that on your own you were going to take the provisions, many of them in that consent decree, and you were going to hold yourselves accountable.
The chosen independent monitor team will oversee the implementation of the city's police reform, a commitment from the city after the Department of Justice ended Louisville's consent decree.
This is like a day I've been waiting for a long time, and I really want to see things change.
The choice comes at the tail end of a violent weekend in the metro, where 3 people were killed and 7 others were injured. The violence continued Monday when 3 men were injured in 2 separate shootings in downtown.
We have a long way to go.
Community advocates like Nancy and Jeff Cavalcante showing out to push for both police reform and a safer Louisville.
It requires community involvement, and I think right now we have a community that's tired, that they're weary from all of the trying to make a difference.
And Reverend Dr. Angela Johnson.
Everybody kind of monitor your own household. Check on your children. I would say it takes a village to raise a child, but it also takes a village to raise a community.
Who is hopeful an independent monitor will make the city's streets safer.
When you have a monitor and a team that actually, when those reforms are enacted, that community violence actually goes down.
A room of Louisvillians not just waiting for change, but being an active part of the conversation for a safer Louisville. Alex Dieterer, WHAS11 on your side.
The chosen independent monitor will be a neutral evaluator of the LMPD's progress towards implementing its community commitment plan. Some reforms for police include use of force, executing search warrants, fair and impartial enforcement, and sexual misconduct. An online survey about the Independent Monitor is now open for you to fill out so you can give your opinions and tell the team which team you would like to see take over as the Independent Monitor of the LMPD. You can vote now. You can submit those surveys rather now, but it closes at 7:30 tonight. In the next few days, Louisville Metro government will announce who that contract has been awarded to. Last night, we spoke with Councilwoman Tammy Hawkins, who said the community should have more time to give this feedback.
I'm concerned about that. I'm concerned about this entire process. And I feel like that the city has waited their turn. I feel like it was very selfish to give this city 24 hours to make a vital decision on which team to select.
The survey can be found on the Louisville Community Commitment website. And new this morning, the race to replace retiring Senator Mitch McConnell has a brand new candidate.
Kentucky Democrat Logan Forsythe launches his campaign today. Forsythe is a personal injury lawyer living in Lexington. He's new to politics, but not to Washington, D.C. He served for years as a Secret Service agent under Presidents Obama, Trump, and Biden. He spoke about his experience with our Isaiah Kim Martinez in his first TV interview.
Anybody who got protection, I was there. And it wasn't a political job. It was just the job that you did. And it was an oath I took to my country, and I took it very seriously.
Forsythe says he grew up poor with a single mother in Lyon County in rural western Kentucky. He tells us his biggest priority, if elected, would be to roll back federal funding cuts to Medicaid and SNAP programs. Forsythe is now the second Democrat in Kentucky's U.S. Senate race. State House Democratic leader Pamela Stevenson of Louisville is also running. The high-profile Republicans in the race are former Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron, Kentucky Congressman Andy Barr, and Lexington businessman Nate Morris. The primary election is next May.
Turning now to the Crystal Rogers case. Prosecutors are asking a judge to deny requests from Joseph Lawson and Brooks Houck for new trials. A jury convicted both of those men in July on charges connected to Rogers' 2015 disappearance and murder. In newly filed documents, prosecutors argued that Lawson did receive a fair trial, even though it was joined with Houck's, and they pushed back against arguments about the venue and timing, maintaining that their arguments during the trial were appropriate. They've also filed a response to Houck's team for a new trial. In it, they challenge similar arguments about the venue and the cases being joined. Lawson and Houck are both scheduled to be sentenced tomorrow after a month-long delay. Houck, Rogers' then-boyfriend, was found guilty of murder and tampering with physical evidence, while Lawson was found guilty of conspiracy to commit murder and tampering with physical evidence. The jury recommended both men serve the maximum prison sentence allowed. That would be life in prison for Houck and 25 years behind bars for Lawson. The sentencing was originally set for last month, but was delayed due to Lawson's, quote, ongoing serious health issues. Rogers' family also had the chance to provide impact statements today, or during that sentencing, which is scheduled for tomorrow down in Nelson County at 2:30 in the afternoon. And we will be breaking all of that down from you, the updates from the courtroom as we receive them on WHAS11 with WHAS11's Doug Proffitt, Alexander Goldberg, and our legal analyst, Nick Mudd. You can watch that tomorrow night at 9 p.m. or on demand on the WHAS11 Plus app. You can download that app and watch for free on your TV.
In southern Indiana, Jeffersonville Mayor Mike Moore has rolled out his 2026 budget proposal. Moore says the $69 million budget fully funds the city's police and fire collective bargaining agreements. But there would have to be several cuts to event planning and public arts funding because of lower property tax revenue. The city council will have to sign off on Moore's proposal.
Matthew, let's head over to you with one thing to know in the world of weather today.
Yeah, we got a warming trend on the way for us this week. We're talking temperatures into the upper 80s and low 90s. But yeah, won't see some real relief from that until next week.